YouTube, what's up? This is Ben from the Be a Photographer channel, and in this video we're going to be comparing f2.8 on a 1.4 lens versus f2.8 on a 2.8 lens. Now the reason I'm making this video is I had someone post on Facebook asking if they need to buy an f2.8 70-200 to do automotive photography, in which you're usually shooting around f4, f5.6, 7.1, things of that nature. So why would you overpay for a 2.8 when you can get an f4 70-200, or pay for a 1.4 when you can just get the 1.8? For instance, the Nikon 85 1.8 is around $500. The 1.4 is about 3 times as expensive. So is it 3 times better or 3 times sharper? No, but it is about twice as heavy. So what we're going to do is set up a little sample area on the desk here. We're going to take some sample photos. I will put them side by side using Capture One Pro. The camera is going to stay on a tripod. The lighting is going to stay the same. The ISO, the settings, everything's going to be the same. We're going to see if there is a difference and a reason to pay for maximum sharpness for a lens that's capable of something like f1.4 or 1.8 or f2.8 if you're not shooting around that. So we'll take some sample shots at f2.8. I'm going to have this zoom to exactly 85 millimeters, so they will be very equivalent photos, and then I will explain to you why there is a difference, if any. So let's find out. First up, we have the 70-200, which if you've seen my review, I absolutely love this lens. I'm manual focusing it to make sure we get optimal focus using live view, so you can see right here, focusing on those numbers on the 24-70 lens, which is the subject, and you can see we are zoomed in. That is tack sharp, beautiful. So we're going to take that shot, preview it on the camera to make sure it's sharp, boom, crispy, and now let's move on to the 85. And now the 85 is on, so what we're going to do is zoom in, use live view manual focus yet again to have the tackest sharpness that we can get, and I'm going to change the settings, of course, from f1.8 to, as you can see, f2.8. We're keeping the ISO the same at 250, we're keeping the shutter speed the same at 1/40th of a second, and you can see it looks pretty sharp. So now let's take a look at both. So which one of these lenses is sharper? Now that we've shot with both on the tripod with the same settings, the same lighting setup, the same subjects, we can take a look in Capture One Pro 20 at these files. You can see that they look very similar. I want you to pause the video right now and comment which one you think is the 85 1.4 and which one you think is the 70-200 2.8. All right, now that you're back, we can take a closer look at these files. So let's click into the file on the right, and we'll see the bokeh looks really nice. It's got good colors in the back. It's pretty sharp. You can read the 24, the 35, the 50, 70 starts to get a little bit blurry. You can read through the cracked window of my lens here. And then if we take a look at the file on the left, we can see that we have all that detail. And as we get even closer, so let's get into this cracked window, that's probably around 200 or 300% zoom. You can see that the file on the left is significantly sharper. And you can guess, that is the 85 1.4G at f2.8 at the same settings as the 70-200 shot on a tripod. So you guys can see there's a big difference in sharpness here. Now this is not motion blur, because motion blur, everything would be blurry. So it was on a tripod, keep in mind that's not the issue, even though we were at 1/40th of a second. And it's not a sharpness or focus issue, because you saw that I manual focused this lens and I zoomed in to over 100% crop and manually focused, so that's not the issue either. And I wouldn't call this an issue at all. It is just the difference of capabilities in lenses. See, it's kind of like this. The 70-200 at f2.8 is stretching. It's doing the best that it can do. It's working the hardest. The 1.4 at f2.8 it's kind of trying, you know, it's taking a victory or parade lap. It's doing its 5th year in college. It's having a grand old time. You can think about it this way. The 15-inch MacBook Pro Retina is kind of overkill for what I do. I mean, I really like it, but I could definitely get away with using the 13-inch MacBook Pro Retina. Also Touchbar, spec'd out like crazy, but this here is like a Ferrari. Doing 85 miles an hour is super easy for it. It's literally like a cakewalk. Doing 85 miles an hour in a Hyundai Sonata, also so not a problem, but 85, it's exerting some force, and that's on the higher end if you're driving one of these cars, right? Yeah, I can do 120 and 30, but that'd be really pushing it. This Ferrari can do 120 or 30 so easily, it wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't stress the car almost at all, and 85 miles an hour to the Ferrari is like a brisk walk. So that is why when you outgrow your lenses at a certain point, you will want to buy the f1.4 instead of the f1.8. You guys can see years ago, almost a decade ago, I did a review on the 85mm 1.8G, which I was shooting on my Nikon crop bodies. I absolutely loved that lens, and I only upgraded to the 1.4G because I got a very good deal on it. Should you upgrade? Not unless you really see a reason to. Again, your photos are going to be sharper, but are your clients ever going to be zooming in to this level? And are they ever going to argue that this is not sharp? No, they won't. So save your money and go practice your skills. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Cut.